You're going to... Yeah, that's me. Best friends with this girl, like C.S. Lewis said. Still worth it.
Keys, please.
Let's do it. All right.
Just call me back.
Louise.
Ow. Well,
She's just that good.
we're gonna go.
Sort of. Can we...
All right, let me take you through the story of Someone Like You in more detail. I'll tell it as if we're watching these key scenes together so you can really get a feel for what's happening. So, we start with Dawson, this young architect thinking back to his high school days. He's got this voiceover where he's quoting C.S. Lewis, saying, "If you love deeply, you're going to get hurt badly. But it's still worth it." And man, does that set the tone for what's coming. We see Dawson falling for London Quinn back in high school. There's this cute scene where London's rushing out of her house, late as usual, and Dawson's waiting for her. You can just feel the chemistry between them, even though they're just friends. Fast forward to when they're 28, and Dawson and London are still thick as thieves. They're celebrating what they call their zoo anniversary. Apparently, they had this special day at the zoo in high school where London was fascinated by gibbons for like an hour. Dawson's teasing her about it, saying his ears are still sore from their screeching. But London corrects him. It's not screeching, it's singing. Now here's where things start to get complicated. London drops this bombshell that she's a match for her mom, Louise's kidney transplant. Dawson's worried, but London's determined. She says, "She needs me, so that is where I'm going to be." You can see Dawson wants to protest, but he holds back. Just when you think things are looking up, bam, tragedy strikes. Dawson and London are out getting ice cream and suddenly, London's hit by a car. It's heartbreaking watching Dawson hold her as she's dying. London's last words? "I asked him to catch me." It's a gut punch, let me tell you. After London's funeral, Dawson's a mess. He's at the Quinn's house, and that's when Larry and Louise drop another bombshell. They tell him that London was conceived through IVF, and there was another embryo. Basically, London might have had a twin out there somewhere. You can see the wheels turning in Dawson's head. So Dawson goes on this mission to find London's possible sibling. His search takes him to Nashville, where he meets Andy Allen, this zookeeper who looks freakishly like London. Dawson approaches her at the zoo, and let me tell you, it's awkward. Andy thinks he's hitting on her at first, and when he starts talking about adoption and biological sisters, she shuts him down hard. But Andy can't shake what Dawson's told her. She confronts her parents, Jim and Jenny, and finds out it's all true. She was conceived through embryo adoption. Andy's world is turned upside down. She's hurt, angry, and confused. So what does she do? She packs up and heads to Birmingham to meet the Quinns. When Andy meets Larry and Louise, it's like seeing ghosts. They're stunned by how much she looks like London. There's this touching moment where Louise says, "I feel like you've always been right here." Even Toby, London's dog, takes to Andy right away. Dawson starts showing Andy around Birmingham, taking her to all these places that were special to London. They go to this performing arts center where London used to dance. Andy convinces Dawson to get on stage and act out a scene. It's goofy and sweet, and you can see them starting to bond. Then there's this great scene at Smith Lake. Dawson takes Andy jet skiing, and she's terrified but exhilarated. They end up sitting on the dock, talking about London. Dawson admits he was in love with her, and Andy's like, "So you two were together?" But nope, they never dated. You can see Andy trying to process all this. Meanwhile, Louise's health is getting worse. She needs that kidney transplant ASAP. And wouldn't you know it, Andy turns out to be a match. She decides to go through with the donation, even though it's risky. There's this touching scene where Louise tells Andy, "You are my miracle."
Hey there, fellow. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. I wanted to take a quick moment to ask you what you think of this video so far. If you're liking it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, now's the perfect time to do it. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date on all my latest videos and updates, and you'll get to see even more awesome content. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
As Andy spends more time in Birmingham, she and Dawson get closer. They have these moments where you can see them falling for each other, but there's all this complicated history and guilt in the way. Dawson takes Andy to this amphitheater he designed, and that's where he finally opens up. He tells her, "Every time that I am with you, I fall more in love with you because I don't see her anymore. I see you." It's a big moment, but it's also bittersweet because Andy's got a life back in Nashville. Speaking of Nashville, Andy's boyfriend Matt is not happy about all this. There's this tense phone call where Andy's distracted and Matt's trying to tell her about a job interview. You can feel the relationship unraveling. The kidney donation surgery is a big turning point. Both Andy's adoptive family and the Quinns are there. And it's this moment where these two worlds collide. After the surgery, Louise gives Andy this beautiful kintsugi bowl. She explains that it's a reminder that broken things can become more beautiful when repaired. It's a pretty on-the-nose metaphor, but it works. As Andy's recovering, Dawson encourages her to make things right with her family back in Nashville. It's a selfless move on his part, putting Andy's needs before his own feeling. There's this emotional goodbye scene where Louise tells Andy, "You are the golden seam for all of us," referring to how Andy has brought healing to their family. Andy goes back to Nashville with her adoptive family, and you think that's it, right? Dawson and Andy had their moment, but real life got in the way. But hold up, because the movie's got one more surprise for us. Sometime later, Andy's back at work at the zoo, and guess who shows up? Dawson. He's all casual, like, "Oh, I'm just scouting locations for a new office." But we know what's up. He's there for Andy. The movie ends with this cute scene of Dawson and Andy walking through the zoo together. They're talking about finding a realtor, Dawson keeping his glass house, and Andy's lack of jet ski skills. It's clear they're planning a future together. And that's where we leave them. Two people who found each other through this crazy, tragic series of events, now looking forward to a shared future. It's like the movie's saying, yeah, life can throw you some serious curveballs, but sometimes those curveballs lead you right where you're supposed to be. So there you have it. That's the story of Someone Like You. It's got all these twists and turns, dealing with love, loss, family secrets, and unexpected connections. It shows how life can surprise you, how family isn't always about blood, and how sometimes the most beautiful things can come out of the most painful experiences. Just like that kintsugi bowl, where the cracks are filled with gold, making it stronger and more precious than before.